Good evening and welcome. We'd like to start the October 7th, 2015 Council of Governments agenda with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. First order of business is the consent agenda. Consent agenda items are expected to be routine and non-controversial and will be acted upon by the council at one time without discussion. Any council member, staff member, or interested party may request that an item be removed from consent agenda for further discussion. Are there any items that the board would like to have pulled? Any staff member? Any interested parties in the public? Seeing none, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilmember Kearney, seconded by Councilmember Murtides. All those in favor?
Aye.
Approved 5-0. Item number 6, public comment. 5 minutes per person. Comments shall be limited to items of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the council. Are there any public comments for items not on the agenda that the council can handle? Come forward, please state your name and where you're from.
Well, okay.
Welcome.
I hate to be the first one because who knows what happens after that. Bill Mason from Murphy's.
Okay.
I've been, in fact, I know 2 of the guys on this end of the table, but everybody else is new to me. And isn't there somebody missing?
Councilmember Debbie Ponte will be late, but she will be joining us.
Okay, I'm just curious.
And Councilmember Heminger is not available this evening.
Well, I've been here for 31 years, or 34 years now to be exact, in Murphy's. And this is the mystery committee that I don't know anything about. I served with our distinguished supervisor, Steve, on the Planning Commission, and he went up to bigger and greater things. And I kept myself retired and incognito. And I know Tim from Arnold because, like I say, I live at Murphy's. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to, I went through this interesting how this committee works, how people are appointed, and how they hold themselves responsible to the public. I mean, those are the voting public. And I'm not sure that's the case, but it's like I say, I'm a new person here, and I was a little confused why there has been this rumor, I don't know if it's true or not, that the District 3 was going to do without a permanent representative up there. They have a temporary one now, but a permanent one. And that is a concern for me because Murphy's and the Ebbets Pass commercial viable part is beginning to put its act together and start to renew the commercial aspect of that area. When I came here in 81 and I picked up in 83 and roared along very well until things kind of hit the can when housing prices fell, gas prices rocketed, and people decided to spend their money wisely someplace else. And right now Murphy's just got over a grape stop, which was not as big as it has been, but I think it's better when it's a little smaller than monstrous. And there are problems there that concern transportation. I don't want to go into it, but that's what we need is a permanent person to talk to. And okay. Arnold is doing the same exact thing.
Okay, Mr. Mason, may I ask if you are actually addressing the Council's Board of Supervisors consideration of the citizen member appointment?
What I'm addressing is, that's again, it is if what I heard was going to take place, Angels Camp will have 3 members.
Okay, I guess...
Wait, I'm not done yet. And District 2 will have 2 members. And just on the count of what I see of the 7 up here, that's a majority. And the other districts are shut out.
Okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is, as that is an agendized item for later in the program this evening...
I didn't see it in here.
It's number 17?
It's where?
Number 17 on the back of the page. turn it over.
Oh, well, let's see what happens when you become retired.
That's okay.
And like I said, this is the first time I've been here.
Right. It's just a point of order that we try to address any items not on the agenda under public
Well, I know,
comment.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'll be back.
Okay.
But can you move it up a little bit?
In all due fairness, I've been requested to consider that already. I would like to have Councilmember Ponte here before I move it up. So I think when she joins us, we'll go ahead and consider it at that time.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Are there any other comments limited to items of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction not on the agenda this evening? All right, seeing none. Item number 7, an update and presentation to the council on the Acela Government Meeting Management Software and discussion of the council's meeting minute format.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to introduce Drew Baker from Acela, who will write a short presentation on the system.
Good evening, Council. My name is Drew Baker. I'm here from Acela. We're a government software company located in San Ramon. I'm here tonight to discuss our legislative management suite. It's currently being used by Calaveras County, and I think that's where the interest came from. The legislative management suite helps with the agenda process. I like to think of the process as 3 distinct phases: the staff report approval process, the creation of the agenda packet and distribution of the agenda packet, and then finally minutes and some sort of way to capture the decisions, in this case, of this council. We've been actually doing this for about 12 years, and we have 400 customers across the country, including Calaveras County. And so we have a lot of experience helping folks get efficient and recognize savings in their agenda process. We do that through a very user-friendly yet powerful interface that utilizes Microsoft Word in the creation of staff reports. So folks within the council government staff can create these reports, submit them, and approve them all electronically. And these are some of the screenshots of the software itself. The packets are then published to an online portal that allows citizens, staff, and council members to retrieve their packets electronically if they choose. If you want to continue to receive your agenda packets in paper, there's still a lot of efficiencies to be recognized before that packet actually arrives in your hands. So a lot of efficiency happens pre-agenda and then in the agenda process. Also, this is a kind of a one-stop portal you can see for the city of Reno, for example. On that portal, you can personalize it to have the look and feel of your website. You can have the agenda packet, your minutes document, and also video. And I think I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. The civic streaming portion is taking the video of your meetings and integrating them with your documents. So when staff, council, or citizen wants to see, for example, item number 17 tonight, they don't have to scrub out and go to different parts and try and find their section of the video. They can actually just click on that number on the agenda, and the video will instantly pop up to that part of your meeting. So we find that this helps not only with the transparency, but helps reduce public requests for information. Now, when it comes to the council and yourselves, we have an iPad app that will help you read through your packets if you so choose to use it. This is a view of the iPad application. It instantaneously delivers your packet to your iPad or to your laptop. Or if you want to continue to use another third-party application to review your packets, you can. And like I said, you can recognize savings if just a few people are going to use the iPad app. Not everybody has to. This is another view of the agenda packet here. In this case, this council member is actually reviewing the video of a previous meeting. And finally, my slide got a little scrambled, but the real savings comes down to a process efficiency. So that process of creating a staff report, printing it out, having people read it, sign off on it, now scan it and upload it again, can really help reduce your costs, both real and sunk costs or personnel utilizing this agenda process for 70 to 90%. Also can reduce the paper, toning, scanning, collating, all those things related to that paper or manual process can get close to going away. And once again, and also that transparency part, you're now will kind of instantaneously allow the staff to upload all of your documents related to your agenda and make them searchable in a Google-style search to allow people to find anything they're interested in. That's it for me. I want to make this short and sweet, so is there any questions?
Council, do you have any questions on the agenda software presentation?
We use it at the county, and I absolutely love it. At first, I was like, oh my gosh, I need paper, but now I don't want any paper. The agenda paper is helpful to be able to follow along, but the information and to be able to search and look for things saves a tremendous amount of time from a board member point of view when you want to go back and look at an agenda or minutes or something along those lines. It's been very, very helpful. So you can be self-sufficient, not, kind of be dependent on somebody else gathering information. And, just saves tons of papers with getting those agenda packets out and such. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I chime in with Debbie and what she's just said. But we don't have the video portion. Is that something that we decided not to load, or?
Yeah, at first, I think when the county came on, they just wanted to do the agenda process, but you can always add on, it's modular. So, yeah.
Is there additional charges for having the video option?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
Good.
the county actually, when I spoke with the clerk, they're actually looking into the video part of it currently as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. That's why I was stumping for it initially. The case in point, when we started this meeting, I was going through my agenda earlier, and I was at the bottom of the agenda, and you started referring to the items at the front part of it, and I'm going like this, like crazy to get to the front part of it, and it took me a good 3-4 minutes to get up there. So, and if you're bouncing around trying to find something or research it, and let's face it, these can be fairly technical agendas here. This is slick. Now the issue would be, we have the iPads that the county's provided, so we could just put another app on for the COG, correct? And you would also, does COG want to buy the iPads for their other council members when they come too, would be the other question. Not part of that presentation, just another consideration.
I guess as a question, are the iPads provided to the council members as part of the seller contract, or are those independently needed if the council members so choose?
That's a completely separate transaction.
Okay.
And I've looked into the iPads and the pricing, and I can bring that to the council for consideration on price. And I've done a lot of research into it and consulted our tech manager as well.
Okay. Councilmember Merides.
The software is iPad only?
Oh, no, you can actually use it on a laptop. And it will create a PDF that the staff can email you, or you can download off the website. So if you want to use an Android or other kinds of PDF or other apps, it'll still digest that and you can use those. So we just have this iPad app that's specific to the iPad if you want to use it, but you're not locked into that.
I've never used one, but I'm game to try it.
It's really simple, honestly. Yeah, it's basically the touch of a finger, and like if you've got questions on a fairly complicated agenda item, and you can bounce back and forth in it and find your information so fast, it's beyond belief.
Yeah,
Like right
we-
now, I bounced around a little bit while you were talking. I got to go find number 7 again. And so, that wouldn't happen with this app. You pull the agenda on the side and touch it and it goes right to it.
Okay.
It would be nice not to be covered in paper.
All right.
Well, and I was surprised when I read through this too, the financial incentive for, I guess I thought more just how it helped me, but in the long run, it does save the council quite a bit of money.
Any further comments from the board? The item was asked for presentation to be informational with possible direction. I'm hearing some very favorable comments about having this brought back, I would say, as a future agenda item for more consideration, perhaps with more details on the real costs. I know that attached to the agenda item were a sample or an example cost of what the staff does for the paper side of the life here, as well as some sample minutes from other agencies as to what it looks like. Mr., I apologize, I didn't write your name down. Baker, thank you for your presentation.
It was an honor, thank you.
And I think with no further questions, I think we're good.
Okay, so staff has their direction then to bring back to the November agenda the software terms and conditions and also the budget information for budget information necessary to support the software and any needed computer equipment or tablets. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Public comment? John?
Yes.
Public comment?
Any public comment on the agenda item that we just concluded about the Acela presentation?
I just had one, Bill McManus, Calaveras Project. I just had one question about, obviously the system is going to be installed, is that correct?
No. What we asked for this evening was a presentation on what it was all about to educate ourselves.
Oh,
And we're asking that in the November meeting, that staff would bring back to the board additional cost and details about the implementation. And at that meeting, we'll go ahead and actually make a decision, if the board so chooses, to either implement it or postpone it as the board sees fit at that time.
okay, when you're making the final decision on this package or the system, what about archives? Is there an additional budget required for archives? How far back are you going to go with COG archives that can be put on the system and available? Or are you starting with the day you turn it on, that's when the archives begin? Has there been any discussion about archives and how much to put on the system?
Well, I would say two things. One, we have a Calaveras COG website now that has archived minutes and agendas.
I know, and I hope the new system is a whole lot better than that one.
Point being, I would expect that Mr. Baker could probably address including historic information to the Acela system.
Yeah, it's
Independent.
actually a complementary portion of the system. We'll take all of your digitized, archived agenda material and upload it into the new portal that's a little easier to search. So it's a part of the cost.
Thank you.
And just speaking on that, you'll actually be able to search by keyword as well. So we can upload, I think we have packets all the way to 2007, and we can upload those and say you want to look at something that's regarding LTF, you can literally type that in there and it'll pull up every time LTF was brought up in all the years of data that we have.
Knowing our alphabet soup, that would probably be quite a list.
Yeah, I picked a broad one.
All right. Any further public comment about the Acela agenda package presentation? Seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item number 8. Fiscal year 2015-16 operations budget amendment number 1, presented by Melissa Raggio.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Staff recommends the council approve the fiscal year 15-16 operations budget amendment number 1. It's incorporating previously approved actions. The two reversions to this operations budget amendment include the amendment to the executive director's employment agreement, and it includes the grant award for mobility management. At this time, if anyone on the council has any questions, I'm happy to answer.
questions about Operation Budget Amendment Number 1? Any public comment regarding the Operations Budget Amendment Number 1? Do I have a motion to approve the minute order of the Operations Budget Amendment Number 1?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Kearney,
Second. It's Councilmember.
seconded by Councilmember Morris. That's whom I heard first. All those in favor?
Aye.
Approved 6-0. It was requested that item number 17A, which is the staff report on the update to the council and the Board of Supervisors' consideration of the council member appointment, be moved up. I didn't do that initially because I wanted to have Councilmember Ponte available to also weigh in on this item, but out of courtesy to the public that is here, I'd like to have item number 17A addressed at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. I just wanted to give a verbal update to the Calaveras Council of Governments that the item to appoint public member, citizen member, Justin Cantilano to the Calaveras Council of Governments was denied by the Calaveras County Board of Supervisors at their previous meeting. So I just wanted to provide that update to the council. We currently have the 3 vacancies that will be coming due. We have the existence vacancy that we've been trying to fill, and then we have our 2 sitting citizen members whose terms will be up in hopes that they are also reapplying for those positions. But we are going through our process. The procedures are listed on our COG board website if anyone is interested in taking a look at that. The application is also available. There are deadlines for the application, so I would encourage those interested in applying to pay close attention to those deadlines. The item will be heard before the COG at the December COG board meeting. We anticipate appointments at that meeting with the new citizen members or returning citizen members to take their seats in February. So that is the update I wanted to make available to the Calaveras Council of Governments. I'm happy to answer any questions from the board or from members of the public.
Comments from the board?
Couple comments. I met with County Council today, and it's my understanding that the issue will be readdressed at a Board of Supervisors meeting sometime in the month of October. And then, what I was hearing about a little bit about the recruitment process, I guess it's, it is awkward to be a member of the community who's made an application to be kind of interviewed in front of the entire public. Somewhat a little, I don't know what the key word is, awkward. I, in the past, have been on committees to where there's been a subcommittee that has interviewed and then brought a recommendation to the board. And that allows for a little bit more, I guess you might say, opportunity for a little bit more questioning, a little bit comfort level for the applicant. And I was just wondering if that's ever happened with COG or not. The other thing, or if it's even, maybe council can answer this. I know you can't have the majority of the board present in a subcommittee, but anyway, who would be on that selection committee? But also, there was lots of discussion about our applicants and representation for, Calaveras County. And I know that sometimes there's a feeling here that the Highway 4 corridor, or particularly the Angels Camp area, is more heavily recognized or supported, or has more of a say on the COG board, you might say. I've never looked at it that way. I've always looked at it as a regional approach to transportation. Highway 4 is a huge, big portion of the county, and on a regional approach to several counties as it goes through. So I don't know if there's any consideration. We had some very good applicants apply in the last go-around. I mean, all of them would have been a nice addition to the board, but we weren't able to do that because we didn't have the openings. And I don't know if there's something that can be done in the future, because it seems like there's a need or a feel for, quote, balance. If we want our public citizenship to, represent an area of the county, if that's possible or not in our recruitment process, you might say, or in our recruitment process and in our questions and answers, do we want to be more focal on asking people not only where they live, but where they might work and play? Because I have lots of folks, live in the Copperopolis area, but they play and work in the valley. And we have some of that in the county, where you might live in particular of the county, but you work on the other side of the county. And so I don't know if that can be part of the application process to get someone who is, well-rounded or sees the total county as a regional operation and not so much, we got to have X amount in one district, or you got to live in this particular area of the county to have that balance at COG. So those are just some thoughts to throw out there and consider as we look at recruitment and look at our openings. It's hard enough to find people to fill our board seats, and we certainly don't see any difference that in the COG as we have on a couple of our other committees and commissions and such coming from the board. So I throw that out there for some consideration.
Thank you, Councilmember Ponte. Other board comments? Any comments from the public? You're welcome to come back up, Mr. Mason.
Marty Crane, Rancho, Valley Springs area. I was at the board meeting when all this discussion was happening. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you so much for your comments. And I just wanted to say that there was some concern that District 2 would have too much representation. And having been a member of the SISTAC committee for many, many years, I can tell you that one of the most difficult areas to serve with regard to transit is up in District 2. So if there were more ideas on the committee to find solutions for that area, I say bring it on. But I totally agree with you, Debbie, Ms. Ponte, Commissioner.
Debbie's fine.
Commissioner Ponte, that this is all a big regional thing. We should not be looking at little districts. You totally nailed it when you said I could work in, say, Valley Springs and live in Angels. I know the whole county. So thank you. Thank you for that.
Well, I didn't get it right this time. That's great.
You're welcome.
Something right in the evening, you're doing real well. But as I was saying before, I was informed that I was in the wrong place at the